Tonight, you never know. Y'all keep playing with me and I'll go back to you.
Damn, y'all. It's not looking too good for Buddy. This man can potentially cross over to the other side. The man Rampage Jackson's son put into the hospital.
After days of silence, the man nearly beaten to death inside a wrestling ring has finally spoken. Steuart's psycho Stu Smith, the veteran wrestler attacked by Raja Jackson, son of UFC legend Rampage Jackson, has broken his silence from his hospital bed. His words were simple but powerful. Thank you for the love and support. Despite broken facial bones, missing teeth, and memory loss from that brutal night, Smith wanted fans to know he was alive, conscious, and fighting. His brother shared further updates describing how difficult recovery will be, and almost instantly an outpouring of support swept across the wrestling community. Fans, fellow wrestlers, and even massive names like MrBeast rallied behind Smith, offering donations and emotional support as he faced a long road ahead. But while Steuart was thanking the world for standing by him, Rampage Jackson, the father of his attacker, was making headlines of his own. Because what Rampage first said about the incident shocked everyone even further.
In the immediate aftermath, Rampage didn't condemn his son. Instead, he went live on a stream and doubled down on defending Raja's actions. He claimed wrestlers were playing games with his son's DNA, ranting that Raja wasn't at fault because he didn't understand the world of professional wrestling. Rampage even lashed out at the wrestlers involved, saying, "I'm the only one who can mess with my son. Nobody else on this planet better touch him." To fans, it came across not as fatherly protection, but as justification for violence. And the backlash was instant, because while Rampage was busy defending Raja, Steuart Smith was clinging to life in a hospital bed. And soon enough, Rampage realized his fiery defense had gone too far.
Just a day later, Rampage took to X with a very different message. "I don't condone my son's actions at all," he wrote, adding that Steuart Smith was awake and stable. This sudden shift left people divided. Was Rampage truly coming to terms with how wrong the attack was, or was he simply trying to repair his own public image? Some applauded the statement, others saw it as damage control from a legend who realized his words had only poured gasoline on a fire. But one of Rampage's closest friends, someone who wanted to defend Raja, admitted he couldn't.
Brendan Schaub, former UFC fighter and longtime friend of Rampage, said he tried to find a way to justify Raja's actions. He replayed the footage, watched the live stream, and looked for any excuse that could make it make sense. But in his own words, "I got nothing. You can't defend this." Schaub went further, warning that if Steuart pressed charges, Raja could face serious legal trouble, including potential felony accusations like aggravated assault. And coming from Schaub, a guy who's always had Rampage's back, that honesty hit even harder. But what really shocked the community were the gruesome details of what actually happened to Stu Smith that night. According to fellow wrestler Douglas Mallow, who was there when it all unfolded, the injuries were horrifying. Stu's face was shattered, his teeth knocked out, and he lost all memory of the attack. At one point, he even choked on his own blood and broken teeth. This wasn't a staged wrestling stunt. This was real violence, and it nearly killed him. Hearing the reality of Smith's condition shifted the narrative entirely. Suddenly, Raja wasn't just a hot-headed kid who snapped. He was someone who had almost ended a man's life in front of a live audience. And that's when the story took an even darker turn. In the days after the attack, disturbing claims began to surface about Raja Pro Wrestling, the promotion where it all went down. Multiple reports alleged that staff were discouraging students from speaking to police investigators. Instead, they were told to keep quiet and let only a select few individuals interact with authorities, fueling speculation of a cover-up. If true, this wasn't just about Raja's violence. It was about a wrestling school more concerned with saving its reputation than helping a man who almost died. But the controversy didn't end there. Douglas Mallow didn't just describe the attack, he blamed someone else for sparking it. He pointed at AJ Mana, the wrestler who brought Raja to the event. Mallow accused AJ of hyping Raja up, feeding into his anger, and putting him in a position where something like this was bound to happen. He even suggested the attack may have been premeditated. To him, AJ was the bigger villain, someone who let Raja take the fall while he sat back and watched the chaos unfold. Even YouTube superstar MrBeast spoke out, posting that it broke his heart to learn Steuart Smith was a veteran who used wrestling to cope with PTSD. He offered to help with medical bills, family support, anything he could do to ease the burden. That one tweet showed how far this incident reached and how much sympathy Smith had gained while Raja's reputation crumbled. But sympathy wasn't all that poured in, challenges did too. Douglas Mallow took things a step further, issuing a direct challenge to Rampage himself. He suggested a charity boxing match, Rampage fighting to raise money for Raja's legal defense, while Mallow fought to raise money for Steuart's recovery. It was bold, brash, and probably unrealistic, but it showed just how angry people in the wrestling world were, angry enough to step into the ring against a UFC legend. Through it all, Steuart Smith remains the center of this storm, despite everything he's endured. Fractured bones, lost teeth, memory gaps, his first instinct was to thank fans and supporters. His family launched a GoFundMe to help cover medical costs, and fans have continued to rally around him. Wrestling, for Stu, has always been about entertaining people and building a community. Now, that same community is fighting to help him heal. So where does this leave everyone? Raja Jackson faces a future clouded by possible felony charges. Rampage's reputation has been shaken by his contradictory responses. And Steuart Smith is left to rebuild his life after an attack that never should have happened. The wrestling world is still demanding answers. Was this just a young man snapping under pressure? Was he pushed into it? And why are there whispers of a cover-up inside Knox Pro Wrestling? One thing's for sure, Steuart Smith's voice has now been heard, and it might be the most powerful part of this entire story. And if you want to stay updated as this story develops, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next.